Okay, we're back up. We have picture again. Is there a picture, British? Sorry about that, guys. The craziness of 4G. That was really cool down there, too. I was hoping to show you guys. I hope that somebody could at least see some of those waves on the different colored lights. So I'm driving back north on the strip. I think I'm just going to go back and forth. I may go out to Highway 17 and do some stuff there. We're just going to wait for the eye to kind of come up this way. The cops are starting to be out in force. I don't know if you guys heard the security guard was telling me I wasn't parked properly at his place. I just backed in between two parking spots and ran out there to get video. Well, somebody's getting arrested. Wind's starting to pick up. Sustained winds at 85. That's a pretty significant increase in intensity. Hey, Jason. Man, jaywalking wearing all black in a hurricane. Not the brightest thing to do. All right, I'm just going to turn and go out to the main highway for a little while. Maybe different change of scenery. And hopefully we will get, looks like the wall's going to miss us. Is it going to go north of us, Andrew? Yeah, so it's going to come ashore north of us, which means if I head towards Wilmington, we might get into the eye wall. I'll have to get somewhere where I can see the radar and be able to make that decision. Hey Keith, what's your read on this? Are you looking at the radar? Do you think I ought to head north up into Wilmington so we can get into the eye? Does it look like it's going to miss Myrtle Beach? I'm going to turn around and head towards Cookout. Wow, I like Cookout. I'm gonna head towards Wilmington. Okay, so if we lose the Wi-Fi between now, all right, Keith, I'm listening too. If we lose the Wi-Fi between now and Wilmington, I'll bring it back up when I get up towards Wilmington, because we definitely want to be able to see the eye wall if we can. Just means it'll be a little later before we see it. earlier today, the track was expected to go just a little bit south of where I am here. Hey, Kathy. I think probably about 45 minutes to an hour to get up there. I'm not exactly sure. Kathy is a storm chaser as well. Kathy went on a tornado chase with me and Michelle and Alistair Chapman and David Gold and Roger Hill and quite a few other people. It's been, I hate to say it, it's been 20 years. 20 years since we did that, Kathy. Can you believe that? You're welcome. It's fun to come out and stream these things. All right, so anybody who's wondering, I'm just heading north, thinking we're going to go to Wilmington, North Carolina, where it looks like the eye's going to have more interaction with Wilmington than it will here, like it will go to the east of us. So if the live stream goes away, just subscribe and hit the bell. Was it 2001? Yeah, I guess it was 2001, 19 years. Hit the bell for notifications. So if I lose the live stream between here and Wilmington, I'm not going to try to get it back unless I get into some weather. And then once I get to Wilmington, I will restart it. Looks like from what somebody said, one of the buoys offshore was sustained winds of 85 miles per hour. So maybe we can get some good winds up there. Oak Island Lighthouse. I don't remember how to get there. Last time I was out there, there was not very good internet. That's the problem with a lot of these really cool places that you go. Ocean Isle Beach, I could try that. I think there's good internet there, Keith. Right now I'm headed northeast, so I should end up out there somewhere. Yeah, Andrew, the challenge is since I'm streaming on LTE, Verizon doesn't play nicely with other people. When you're streaming, they don't like to hand off very well. Northwest Wilmington has tornado watch or warning. Cool. I don't go tornado chasing at night. So while we're driving north with not much wind and rain, Kathy, who's HPDKA on here, and Michelle and all those other people, we were driving all over the place. I was working for the Weather Channel. Michelle was my driver, and Kathy was going along with Silver Lining Tours, which is now owned by Roger Hill, one of the most successful tornado chasers in the world. I think he has the world record of intercepting the most tornadoes. We were in Minnesota and saw this really cool tornado that was heading right towards, I think it was a natural gas factory. And the exhaust from the smokestack was being sucked into the tornado vortex. Thankfully, it didn't hit it. But we all saw a really beautiful tornado that day. Glenville, Minnesota. Yes, it was. So it was a really cool storm. I think later that day we saw a couple more storms or tornadoes. I don't remember if we had I don't think we had the Weather Channel satellite truck with us on that trip. Some of them we had the satellite truck with us. A guy named Mickey was the driver. He also was the driver for Elton John for his tour bus. But we had a good time on that trip. That was a really cool tornado. Glenville, Minnesota. Kathy, what day was that? Do you remember? Or Michelle, do you remember? I know Kathy probably does because she's really kind of a weather nerd. $5101. We saw a couple more tubes. Yeah, we saw a big elephant trunk, if I remember. That was where I met Alistair Chapman. Weather geek, sorry. Alistair Chapman is an incredible cinematographer and ham radio operator. Golf Zero November Echo Foxtrot is his call sign. He lives in England, and he's the kind of guy, he's so smart and so good at explaining things that if you ask him what time it is, he most likely will tell you, yes, he is hilarious, Michelle. He most likely will tell you how to build a watch, and you'll understand it. Alistair has been to our house a few times when we were living in Virginia. We got him and a guy, oh boy, I can't remember his name now. The guy who blew up the Death Star, literally. The guy who blew up the Death Star, the cinematographer who did all the special effects photography for the original Star Wars. Bruce Logan is his name. Alistair and Bruce came and helped us put on a seminar at Regent University Film School. And, yep, Bruce Logan. Zechariah asked Bruce if he would come over to the house and watch the original Star Wars and tell them how he made every explosion. And he did. Now, some of you guys know I've been in the presence of presidents and kings and famous people. I was backstage at a jazz festival talking to Aaron Neville about my camera, not even realizing it was Aaron Neville. And I don't get starstruck by famous people. I've worked with them too long. But when Bruce Logan was sitting on the couch with our kids all wearing their Star Wars costumes, and he was stopping the DVD player every time something blew up and said, I used titanium dioxide or whatever it was he used, and this is how we did it, and we used motion control. It was really cool. I was taking selfies with him. So we literally had the guy who blew up the Death Star. He literally blew up the Death Star, and he was at our house watching Star Wars with us. Later that year, or the next year, I guess, on May 4th, Star Wars fanatics like May 4th because May the 4th be with you. There were some Star Wars fanatics at a restaurant, and Zechariah walked up to him, and they're like, oh, you like Star Wars? They're like, yeah, we like Star Wars. He says, well, the guy who blew up the Death Star watched Star Wars with us at our house, and they're like, yeah, right. Either I or Michelle said, yeah, he really did. Those guys were blown away. Bruce is a really cool guy. His first film that he got major work on was 2001: A Space Odyssey. And he was a second unit photographer. He did all of the animations. The only thing he did, and it took like 2 years, was the screens for HAL, the computer. He did that. He later went on to, I think he directed Tron. I know he worked on Tron. He's worked on a lot of films. A really cool guy. So anyway, that's my diversion here. So I'm heading north towards North Carolina, towards Wilmington or Topsail Beach or Oak Island. I mean, if I see Oak Island and the road for it, I'll go out there and see if we have good internet. I'm still on Business 17 North. So for you who are just joining us, we are covering the imminent landfall of Hurricane Isaias. I am so glad they won't be using that name again for a few years. Just left Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's where I originally thought it might come ashore. And it looks like it's taking a jog to the east. So heading north, Ocean Isle Beach Pier. Yeah, if I can get over to Ocean Isle Beach, the pier would be good. Anyway, heading up towards towards North Carolina, Wilmington, Cape Fear, where it sticks out like a sore thumb, and better chance of getting. Okay, so 17 north is straight, 17 south is to the right, going north. So once we get up into Wilmington, in the daytime I can find my way around pretty good. We used to live on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, just across the bridge from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, before we moved to Virginia, or actually before we moved to the Caribbean for a few years, and then we moved back to North Carolina and then to Virginia, and now we're down in Florida. North Myrtle Beach. So I used to contract with Coast Guard District 5 Public Affairs and did a lot of flying with the Coast Guard out of Air Station Elizabeth City in northeastern North Carolina. And we would do a lot of flights down to Wilmington. We'd land in the middle of a field in Topsail Beach, Carolina Beach. We'd land there. Sometimes on star cases, we'd come back ashore and have to get fuel at Cherry Point, the Marine Corps Air Station. I remember the Marine Corps, when you're in final approach, they remind the pilots to make sure the gear is down and locked. We were in H-60 helicopters, and of course the landing gear on H-60 is fixed. And one of the pilots, when they would say Coast Guard Rescue 6009, make sure or confirm gear down and locked, and the pilot would go Coast Guard Rescue 6009, gear down and welded. He was kind of tweaking the air traffic controllers at Cherry Point. Okay, so where were we seeing? Southport. Right now I'm passing under US Highway 501, the Conway bypass. And for anybody who's been to North Myrtle Beach, this is where all of the outlet stores are and the tourist trap stuff is. Ocean Isle Beach, Oak Island, Southport. North Myrtle Beach, 7 miles. Atlantic Beach, 4 miles. Myrtle Beach Mall on the left. Kathy, I think you asked what highway. This is Highway 17. Hopefully the APRS link is working. If you go into the description, there is a link for the APRS. "72-mile-per-hour Frying Pan Tower." You know, we have plans to go out and activate Frying Pan Tower with ham radio. It's owned by a private citizen now. He bought it at a U.S. Coast Guard auction a few years ago. And I actually talked to him about a week ago. And he is still interested in having us go out. We were going to go in May, right before the Dayton Ham Fest. But COVID stopped that. So sometime in the future, we hope to be out on the frying pan tower, operating ham radio. I think we'll use a big vertical, multi-band vertical antenna, about 6 million pounds of steel in the Atlantic Ocean for a ground plane for you ham radio operators. I think that would make a really good HF station out there, just to have a big vertical. Okay, so I guess we're coming up on North Myrtle Beach. Yeah, we'll take satellite gear out there, definitely. Although I think it's still in the same grid that you can work from land. I don't think it's a grid that can only be worked from maritime mobile. If you guys haven't already done so, please like this video, share it, click subscribe, and hit that bell button so it will ding you for notifications. We not only do the live streaming of hurricanes, which is actually very rare. This channel is usually hosted by our children, usually our daughters, Faith, Hannah, Hope, and Grace. Sometimes our son Zechariah gets on here. He spends more time studying his engineering stuff than he does getting on camera, which is just fine. Later this year, Grace and I are supposed to go to the Dry Tortugas again with a group called Ham Radio Adventures, and do ham radio from the Dry Tortugas. That'll probably be near Christmas time. It was supposed to be a couple weeks ago, but COVID shut that down. And another thing some people have asked us about, for you ham radio operators, is asked us if we might be willing to facilitate like mini de-expedition ham radio vacations for people. And I think we're going to look into that. We've got some cool locations that we may be able to go in the Caribbean to go set up a portable station and stay there for a week or 10 days and be the DX. It's really cool to get on the other side of the pileup. If you've never been on the other side of the pileup, where you're the person that everybody's trying to work, it is an experience. When Faith Hannah went to Saba, which is a little island where we used to live when I was in medical school, she got on the air. The prefix for ham radio is Papa Juliet 6. When she called CQ, she described it as a wall of sound coming at her, with all of the people trying to shout out their call signs. Yeah, there is a ham vacation place. What we're thinking of doing is making it more de-expedition-esque, where you actually get to go out and set up the antennas. We'll have nicer living quarters than a tent, maybe. Although that could be kind of cool too. That's what we had to do on the Dry Tortugas. That's just some interference on 146.52. Well, that's one of split operations. One of the things you would teach people. Yeah, it'd be like a teaching de-expedition. Michelle's got it right. The de-expedition, the youth, Dave Coulter Memorial Youth DX Adventure that Faith Hannah went on, they would not let us work split. I don't know why. So, this is something that we'll probably be doing in the next year or so. I've got to talk to some travel agents and find out what kind of rules and regulations there are, what kind of insurance you need, that kind of stuff. But we've been playing radio out in the field now for quite some time. The kids have been licensed over 5 years now, and most of their operations are out in the field. They build the Go Boxes, and they have the Shack in a Box business. That's www.shack-in-a-box.com, Shack in a Box. And they make really cool ham radio Go kits and battery boxes and solar generators. They got a bunch of orders last week. We live in Florida, so there's no soda in Florida. We might be able to do a trash heap on the air, Tahoda. That's about all there is. There's no summits in Florida, Andrew. We do a lot of islands. We like to get in a canoe. We took a canoe over to an island, Pelican Island. Hope and I did that, and then Hope and Grace and I last August, right before the hurricane, before Hurricane Dorian, we went back there and spent the night for a couple of nights on the island, uninhabited island, just a bunch of rattlesnakes out there. And we did the U.S. Island Award Program, or the U.S. Islands QSO party, which was fun. This year, I think we're going to do it from Pelican Island, not Pelican, Pontoon Island, which is a state park, and I think we're going to do it with some of the people from our local amateur radio club. That's the West Volusia Amateur Radio Society, westvars.org, WESTVARS.org, that's the website. And Summits on the Air is kind of cool. People take their ham radio gear and portable antenna. There's a rule that you, if I remember right, there's a rule that you have to hike some of the distance to get up to the summit. So they take them up there and set up their antenna, and they get points for making contacts, and the people who contact them get points for contacting them. And it's kind of like a competition. We've not done any soda stuff, but it's fun from the people who talk about it. Some of our ham radio friends do that. Steve Galchut does it. He's like the soda guy. He used to have a mountain goat named Peanut that he would take with him. But we like to do islands. Just unfortunately, a lot of the islands in Florida have rattlesnakes and or alligators. Was I not doing video? It was buffering. Okay. So if you're a ham radio operator, I really encourage you to get on the air out in the field. It is a lot of fun to take your radio and go to a park even, or the beach, or even your backyard. And it gives you all kinds of cool experience of setting stuff up, operating in less than perfect conditions. We went and looked at an island to try and activate about a year ago in Crescent Lake in Florida. I think it's called Bear Island. And there were huge alligators out there, like 13, 14 feet. But we never could get permission to get on the island to do it. It's kind of cool. That island that was actually given away as a prize on the Price is Right back in the 60s. Another thing we like to do in ham radio is called fox hunting. And in a fox hunt, somebody hides a hidden transmitter that's low power, and it transmits at certain intervals, and you use a directional antenna to try and triangulate where it is. We haven't been to St. George's, and 93 miles per hour is kind of cool. So we may actually get some decent winds up here in Wilmington. That'd be kind of cool. All right, guys, it looks like I am leaving civilization here. So I may end up losing 4G. If I do, just keep watching. Subscribe and hit the notification button. Input it was only in 2016, but that's what got us started. Really got us started operating out in the field. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, 17 North, Wilmington. For those of you who rode along in 2018, you will notice that the headlights are a lot brighter than they were back then. This new vehicle has much better headlights than the old one did. Way brighter. Yeah, they are. State line fireworks 4 miles ahead, so I assume we're getting close to the state line. Little River is 2 miles. Wilmington is 53 miles. Waffle House is open. So the FEMA Waffle House Index would say that everything is A-OK here. John Knott, you may remember, I don't know if you were watching the night before Michael hit the panhandle. Not only was Waffle House closed, it was boarded up with corrugated steel. And then when I came back a few days later, it was gone. That Waffle House was gone, but there was a Waffle House bus there making hash browns and a limited menu out of their bus. I've never seen a Waffle House boarded up like that before. Oh man, that restaurant got closed down. He didn't pay his taxes. And they closed it down, and somebody bought it and opened it back up. It opened a couple of weeks ago, and I was in North Carolina, and I actually got to go there and got some barbecue, and they gave us some barbecue to take home. We've got a pint of it. Hey, what's the Sky One repeater, Jason? I will put it in. You may have to do it more than once. I don't do any digital at all, or any of the VoIP modes. I am an RF purist. I really don't like the sound of it, and I don't like how it makes people think that they are getting DX when they're really not. They're making their backhaul over the internet. So, yeah, that is my take on it. I'm not telling anybody don't do it. It's just my take on it. I don't like to do it. We have a D-Star radio in here. 146.88. Is there any tone on that? If there's any tone on that repeater, let me know. If you typed it, I didn't see it. I'm not bringing it up with no tone. South Carolina Welcome Center, left lane. And it looks like we're about to go into a new state here. Thank you, Jason. If you see it, if I don't reply that I got it, just keep sending it to me, please, because I'm every now and then glancing over at the chat. There's a little piece of sheet metal in the road there. Calabash to the right. So last year, after Hurricane Dorian, I went down to Marsh Harbor on Abaco Island, and I went down there with an NGO called Aero Bridge. And what they do is they coordinate the donation and use of private and corporate aircraft to do airlifts into disaster areas. They can get into the smaller and the messed up airfields pretty quickly after a disaster. So I was down there for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 days. Went down there. I'd worked with them before in Haiti, and did some coordinating with them in 2017 after Hurricane Maria, getting some ham radio gear down to Dominica. And we had the idea of using amateur radio to kind of help with logistics communication. And we went down there, and amateur radio wasn't our primary mode of communication. We did it just through a proof of concept. And the plan was to use Winlink, the amateur radio email over HF. It worked pretty good. One of the challenges is that the information that you send out is publicly archived, and we were having to send some personal information over that email. The people that we did it for knew that we were doing it, and we're just so glad that we were getting them evacuated that they were okay with it. But looks like that wasn't going to work the way we wanted it to. So we're looking at other ways of providing communications from a disaster area. We're trying some new things. Not all of them involve amateur radio. Actually, most of them don't involve amateur radio. One of them involves HF, but not amateur radio HF, and some satellite communications. Challenge is that when you have satellite phones, they cost a whole lot of money. So we're trying to figure out how we can use satellite data and use the satellite backlink, sort of like D-Star would do, or DMR. Use a hotspot and use the satellite data for the backhaul. I think I saw somebody named Joe say hi, James. Hi, Joe. This is the life of a storm chaser here. Most of the time you're driving, and I think Kathy and Michelle can testify this. Most of the time you're driving and you're bored. Oh, that repeater in Raleigh. That repeater in Raleigh does not have coverage down here anymore. The 8.8 machine used to be at, I think at 15 or 1600 feet and had incredible coverage. Now it barely gets coverage out of Raleigh. So what I'll need a repeater from Wilmington. Hours and hours of wonderful driving. We had absolutely, I don't think we had any wind at our house in Central Florida. Anyway, here we are driving north on US 17 north, trying to get up here to where we can be in place to get in place for the eye to come ashore. Michelle typed with very few bathroom stops. Yes, there are very few bathroom stops when you're storm chasing. Especially with Roger. Roger is die hard. I remember Mickey, the driver. I think it was in 2000 or 99. He was driving the satellite truck, and two of the ladies that were with the Doppler on wheels went into a wheat field to use the facilities, and Mickey told them to watch out for rattlesnakes, and they held it for the rest of the day. Yeah, the 146.88 repeater in Raleigh does not reach Wilmington. I was up that way a couple weeks ago, and let's see, 147.090. 147.090 with 123. 147.090. I believe I have 123 in there already.
Good evening. With 125 watts at 590 feet. This is the NE4SCVHF repeater.
And WX4 TV mobile monitoring. 146.82 is in Wilmington with an 80 what? 88.5. Let me put that on the other side. Hurricane warning in effect. And tune on. And WX4 TV mobile's monitoring A2.
2.
Thank you, John. Thank you, whoever gave me the 147090. Both of those repeaters are working good here. Starting to pick up a little bit of wind. Getting buffered around a little bit. I'm heading due east right now. Sunset Beach and Ocean Isle Beach to the right. I think we should maybe try Ocean Isle Beach. What do you guys think? I'm going to pause here. Do we go to Ocean Isle Beach or keep going north up to Wilmington? Let's take a poll. Sunset Beach is 4 miles away. What do you guys think? Ocean Isle Beach. I'm going to try it. If it starts buffering, I'm going to make a U-turn. These frogs are happy. Listen to this. Thank you, Keith. I'm driving real slow on this road just in case there's flooding or a tree that's down. Is there a bridge over the Ocean Isle Beach? Starting to get some rain and wind now. So Keith, the winds here are east. I'm estimating at 20, 25 miles per hour. Moderate rain. Don't know if you can see the rain going sideways here. Okay, Keith, if there's a bridge, I may not be able to get across it. They typically close those things down. We will see. Elevated bridges are always fun in the rain. Okay, let's see here. Ocean Isle Beach. To the left, Sunset Beach, straight. I think I'll go to Sunset. Sunset Beach, 2 miles. I wish this was in the daytime, guys. So if we get in the eye, we get a steak dinner. If you go tornado chasing, you get a tornado. You get to have steak dinner that night. So if we get into the eye, that's a steak dinner for us. I'll go home and get a steak, and we can cook it on the grill. Yeah, it's coming down pretty hard now. Keith, winds are still east, about 25 miles per hour. Moderate to heavy rain. Start to get some small branches, about 1 inch to 2 inches in diameter, are breaking. We are in the town limit, or city limit, for Sunset Beach.
NE4SC, repeater.
We're getting some pretty good squally wind here. That's a good 40-mile-an-hour gust. You guys see that rain going across? All right, so is the bridge straight ahead here? We'll find out. No, the bridge is not straight ahead. I'm on a dead end. Spin around. Pay no attention to the storm chaser making an illegal turn. As a Grand Faith I have to learn how to make one of these 3-point turns so they can pass your driver's license exams. All right, so I need to go left to get to Sunset. Here we go. Oh, we can stop here and watch all the wind and rain again. You know what? I've got an offline map, and I didn't bring it because I really thought that we were going to be able to do. Streaming with the Sony camera. It worked at home through the iPhone, but I think the iPhone was sharing its Wi-Fi connection. I didn't think about that. From now on, I'm just going to make sure I have the GPS with me. I have working right now. I have a Icon 5100 with a dual band Larson antenna. The HF rig is the 857D, but Hope and I have not finished installing it yet. And the antenna mount, we got to build an antenna mount for it because the way we did it in the old truck is not going to work in this truck. So we've got to get a piece of stainless steel and get it to somebody who has a metal brake that can bend it for us. It'll be a while before we get all that done.
The time is 10 p.m. on the NE4SC repeater.
Yeah, so Michelle's got to be up early in the morning. Michelle, if you need to go to bed, don't feel like you need to stay up all night. Right on Canal Street, then left on South Sunset. If I can see the street signs. This is another Suburban. It's a 2008 Suburban. It looks like a Fed car. It's black with really dark tinted windows. We didn't get rid of the other Suburban by choice. I really enjoyed that truck. You guys see this? Trees are starting to whip around there. Thanks, Keith. Okay, so I'm coming up on a traffic circle here. Sunset Beach is to the right. Sunset Beach to the right. That means it's west of here, right? Do we really want to go west, or should we keep going east? I'll go down there and see what's going on. The bridge is closed, it looks like. I didn't move those roadblocks. All right, going over the bridge. Going over the bridge, I believe it's closed. It looks like there was a looked like there was a roadblock. No, there was a barricade. It looked like it blew down. It is dark down here. Yeah, guys, it is blowing like crazy here, as you can see. And the storm surge is coming up right there. So I'm going to stick right here. I'm not going to drive through the storm surge. I don't know if you guys can see it there. But it's coming up fast there. It just came across the road there. So we may have gotten ourselves to the situation where we're going to ride it out right here. No, that's not 100 miles an hour yet. Can always back it up at the bridge a little bit if the storm surge comes up too high. Well, we're getting our money's worth here, aren't we? All right, so Keith, yeah, this point is kind of risky. Yeah, that's water across the road. Keith, what does it look like where I am? Yeah, Keith, there's no pull-off area here. If anything, I'll back up the bridge because the road is actually covered with water now. It's come up. It's come up across the road since we got here. I'll pull down there a little bit so you can see it. Can you guys see the debris in the road there? That wasn't there when we got here. The water was just starting to come across the bridge. So anyway, we're kind of safe here. We're behind some scrub brush. And the good news is that the eye wall doesn't last very long. And in the eye, we can get back across the bridge. All right, so Keith, I would say these are 70-mile-an-hour winds. I'm headed south. These are east winds. Maybe higher than 70. We're getting pelted like crazy here. So if you guys enjoy what you see, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, ding the bell for notifications. Looks like we have found the eye of Hurricane Isaias. Yeah, that water's coming up high on the road there. That's a good gust. Keith, how does it look as far as where the eye wall is? Do you know? Does it look like I'll get out of this squall in time to get around the, get off the bridge? Joe, we're in the eye wall, or close to the eye wall, which is the most intense part of the hurricane. Can you guys see the waves? Yeah, at this point, I'm not going to make a three-point turn and get out of here. Not yet. Cool. So we get the eye wall through here. It's moving what, about 16 miles an hour. We should get out of this fairly quickly. You guys want to head over to the PayPal link and help us out with the paint job for the truck, that would be nice. It's in the description if you enjoy what you're seeing. Man, I wish it was daytime. Kind of wish we had stayed on the other side of the bridge so we could see this better. No, nobody's coming. It's just street lights down there. The water is whipping across the road here. "55 miles south-southeast of Myrtle Beach." We're not even in the eye wall yet. See if I can get some internet. Nope, no internet. So Keith, the winds are sustained at 50 to 60 miles per hour. East winds, as you can see. Storm surge over this road is about 2 to 3 inches deep at this moment. I'm just on the south side of the bridge. I don't know what road this is, but you might be able to pull it out of my APRS ping. I'm glad we weren't up on top of the bridge when that squall came through. Pull down here a little further so you guys can see this storm surge. Can you guys see that? Retreat back up the bridge a little bit. No, that's seaweed and grass and stuff on the road. So if Reed Timmer was here with us, we'd be hearing a lot of screaming. He gets really excited about this stuff. My call sign, Whiskey X-Ray 4 Tango Victor. I've been intercepting hurricanes since 1992. The first one intercepted professionally was Andrew back in 1992, and I've been in a whole lot of them, over 200 of them. Well, landfalling tropical systems, not all of them were hurricanes. Hola, Felipe. Guys, I backed up a little bit more. I don't want to get salt water in the brakes if I don't have to here. So I don't know if you can see it. I am like maybe 5 or 6 feet above, higher than that road right now. I'm just on the approach to the bridge. Hey, John Knott, can you give me like a nowcast? Does it look like this squall is going to end, or am I going to ride it out here? Actually, it's looking like it's kind of getting not as bad here. You guys see that? You guys can see that. All right, so while we're not in this really bad squall, I am going to do my best to get back. There's the water. Carefully get back across this bridge. We may have to ride it out on the other side if the water's up over the road there. I guess we'll wait. Wait and see what's going to happen here. Yep, I got water on my brakes. I don't know how comfortable I am driving over this right now. This is the Atlantic Intercoastal Waterway. Suburban. Right now it's great to be alive right now. Kate, or is it Kate or Carrie? I guess it's Carrie. Yeah, they are. Wish I had data that I could see where this wind was going here. We're rocking and rolling. All right, John, how's this, how do we look here? Can I get out of the, can I get over the bridge? Yeah, Rain-X washer fluid works really good. The problem is the iPhone then focuses on the raindrops. Okay, we're going back over the bridge. Get out of here before the next gust comes. Everybody pray that the gust doesn't come when we're on the top of it. That's never any fun. That happened to me a couple times. Okay, we're almost to the top of the bridge. Thank you, John. And we are now at the top of the bridge and about to come down. Kind of blowing a little bit. Here we go. Coming down. Yeah. Okay. We're back on the mainland. That doesn't mean we're out of the woods. There's a roadblock. It blew away. Oh, Keith, you missed it, brother. You missed it. We had good 50, 60 mile per hour winds, Keith, sustained. East winds, heavy rain, storm surge is coming over the road there. All right, so how do I get up to Carolina Beach? Actually, let me just pull over here and let's commiserate and see where we need to go next. John Knott, do you concur? Am I in the eye? All right, so I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna pull over and we will get out and let you guys experience the eye of a hurricane. Actually, I can tell we're in the eye. I can feel the pressure drop. My ears are popping. Cool. That was cool. It's always fun to get in the eye and not have a whole bunch of damage. All right, so here we are at the Dollar General. Steak dinner. All right, let's get out and everybody can experience the eye of a hurricane here. Wind's still blowing a little bit. Hear the frogs? They're happy. There's a bird flying up there. You guys want to see the truck? Okay, here's the truck. All kinds of stuff on the side. And we'll get back in and wait for the eye wall to come back. I don't want to drive through those trees that we drove through earlier in the heavy winds. Okay, in lieu of a steak dinner right now, I'm going to have this. So I can grab my light for you. Let's do right. This is dinner. Beefsteak. We'll have that for dinner tonight. Oh yeah. I think the truck's fine, Michelle. It was just some marsh grass that's on the side of the car, and all the pelting was the big raindrops hitting it. I'll wash it really good in the morning though. Okay, Calabash and Carolina Beach. Let's see if we can go that way. We are actually in where are we? Sunset Beach, North Carolina. We were just in the eye wall. We're actually in the eye of the hurricane right now. You guys notice how quickly the winds died down? That was pretty cool. When I was in medical school, we hooked ourselves up to an EKG machine and found out that Munster is really, really, really bad for you. Which way is Carolina Beach? Somebody give me some directions here, Andrew, please. I'm going back to, I'm on 179 Business North. That's what I thought. Whatever that next beach we were talking about going to. I should forget the next beach that we were talking about, Ocean Isle. So, how do we get to Ocean Isle? I'm headed north on 179 Business. Tree down here on the left. So if we got in the eye wall here at 10 o'clock, that seems like the storm must have been picked up by that trough and is increased its forward speed quite a bit, because I didn't think it would be here until around midnight. So Irene, we were just down in Myrtle Beach. How is it now? It looked like the eye was going to miss, so we came up here to get into the eye, and it looks like we were successful to get into it. Going through an eye wall cycle. Okay. See, this is crowdsourced storm chasing. You guys that don't know John is a very good friend, and he's one of the guys that helps put on the Orlando Hamcation. There's an incredible ham fest right on the Causeway Drive. Turn right. I'm supposed to turn here? No, Ocean Isle Beach is 3 miles straight ahead. 904, 179. Spawn, this is a family-friendly channel. Do it again and you're gone. Yeah, Andrew, I don't think I'm going to go back across the bridge. Irene, if you go to the description right under the video, there's a link. Click on that link and it will bring up a map that shows you exactly where I am in real time, as long as we have cell service. Lots of limbs down here. Reed is on Oak Island. Tell him I said hey. Is he yelling? Reed really gets into storm chasing. He's a meteorologist, I'm a cameraman, and I've always known you need to keep quiet when you're storm chasing so you can get the gnat sound and whatnot. Yeah, I'll go to the foot of the bridge. Is there a way to go north to get up to Wilmington from here, or do I have to go back west? All right, so you guys saw that wind. It was probably 50, 60 miles per hour. It wasn't even hurricane force winds. And they only lasted, what, maybe 5-10 minutes the most, if that? Seems like longer when you're sitting in it. Can you imagine the people in the Bahamas that had 150 mile per hour winds for like 2 days? Those guys got clobbered down there with Hurricane Dorian last year. This road will bend back up to 17 Wilmington. Okay. I can't imagine being in 150 mile per hour winds for days. I've been in 150 mile per hour winds, and to be perfectly honest, I was scared to death. No, it'll be years before Abaco recovers, if they do recover. Anyway, I was telling you guys I went down there last year to help with the airlift and slept in a tent right there on the airport. Don't know if I'm back or not. Okay, so I'm not going to go to the beach because we don't know what's going on. And our cell service isn't that great out here. Okay, I can still see the chat, guys. So let me know how to get back to 17, and I'll head north towards Wilmington. don't know if you guys can hear me or not. We got a picture again. All right. Well, hopefully we'll keep this. There's a lot of tree debris on the road here. You guys just missed. The cops had the road blocked. They told me I could go through.
Welcome to the N4ILM receiver, Wilmington.